Hi, this is Nick Drake.
And this is Dan Weeks, and we're just going to quickly share with you how the song The Angels Knew came about.
Dan, how did it come about?
What month were we sitting in a room together?
I think it was maybe October, do you think?
October 2000.
It could have been September, actually.
2012.
11.
October 2011, sitting in a dirt and grubby room.
I think it had a photocopier in it.
Had a photocopier in it, and it's full of stuff, and we had decided to have a day to write together, and Nick wasn't in the best of states. Nick?
Well, it was funny, I was remembering back, and I think I was just pretty stressed about all the other little jobs, emails, and different things I had to do, rotas and stuff, so I remember I just couldn't sit still.
So picture the scene. Nick is jumping up and down every 5 minutes because he can't sit still. He's so stressed, and we're trying to write what seems to be an 80s
worship hit.
I
think that's what
it had. All the ingredients,
known as.
Except it was 20 years too late. Closing the day, Nick was too stressed to leave. I quickly came up with an idea.
What was the idea?
It was a theme melody, which was like the 2-string.
The opening of the song now.
And then started singing that ba-ba-da-da, ba-ba-da-da, and I said we should write a Christmas song that sounds like this. Nick goes, yeah, let's do it. So we very quickly, within the space of about 5 minutes, scoped out the verse chords and even some of the minor changes that happened.
The minor changes under it, and I think that a draft melody for those choruses that at the time were just. There weren't no words for those choruses.
And we literally then dropped it and ran off, and that was it.
And actually, I then spent time afterwards working on the 80s song.
Yeah.
Like, this was like the afterthought, really.
So one key point here, in reflection, is to say that sometimes when you're not looking for it, it's actually right there, and the better ideas just come when we're not thinking about it and not concentrating about it. And it's important to capture those things because although it's a tiny nugget of an idea, it can very quickly become something new. So you might work for hours on one idea, but yet the other idea is actually the one that.
That's right, and I personally record everything on my iPhone. So, and when I've got to walk about 20 minutes home every day and to work, and I often just listen through everything on there. Because it's only sometimes afterwards, like the next day, where you can discern whether something's actually good or not.
It's got that catchy little bit. So, and that is key to capturing moments. That is songwriting right there. That first 10 seconds of an idea that you capture is songwriting. Song crafting possibly could be considered the next 2 or 3 weeks or months as you try and craft that song into shape.
Yeah,
but it's important to capture that 10 seconds
that's good.
From a writer's point of view, and do it daily, do it as many times as you can, as often as you can, because as you hone that skill, so too will the creative element come quickly.
Yeah, and the other thing about the song was just the teamwork thing, was it?
Very key.
Like, after that moment, we took it back home. I took it home to Becky, and it was Becky who took the lead on the lyrics and came up with 3/4 of those lyrics pretty quickly. And actually, if she was here, she would say that's quite unusual for her to write lyrics on an already created.
Yeah.
Because the melody was all there, really. Yeah. So she found that a little challenge, but just came up trumps. It was great. And then I just added that final verse just to try and make it more personal, bring it right home, right to the present, rather than just describing the past event. Trying to say, well, it's right here, it's right now.
Something about the reality of Christmas today, what that means today, and then also the production element. There was a demo that was made that had some kind of very big Sigur Rossi kind of moments, which were really crazy. But then, as a team, you learn to pull that into a place that's just open and accessible. Does it mean that it's dumbed down the song? I don't think so. I think it's allowed the power of the lyrics and the melody to be more successfully. Or just more successful in that sense, not being hidden by great big musical hoorah or style.
And that's interesting because we performed it for the first time at our carol services at St Paul's, Hammersmith last year. And I guess being forced to do that first, that was the first portrayal of the song, wasn't it? And in a sense, I think we kept a lot of that simplicity in the recording. There wasn't anything added to take away from that. And in fact, some of those elements from that live performance where we had a small orchestra and a choir, that for certain space moments that we kept in the final thing, didn't we?
Exactly.
Which I think gives it it was just good to test it out in that real place with real instruments.
Exactly. So also sometimes putting the song out live, getting it into a real space with a real audience, whether it be for a secular tune or a Christian worship point of view, from a congregational point of view, getting a reaction, seeing how the song is absorbed or is accessed is very important, because it will influence greatly on the way that you continue to write with the song.
Yeah.
To change bits lyrically, musically, or even produce your song finally.
Yeah, brilliant.
There we are, Nick.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Nick.
Back to pads.